How to get off the launch pad. Hello, I'm Malcolm Cox, and today I want to talk about how we get going in our lessons. How to get off the launch pad. Now, this is Tuesday teaching tip number 120, so thanks for joining me today. And the reason I'm bringing this to you today is because I want to try and help myself, to be perfectly honest. I think I made some mistakes this last class I taught on Friday just gone. And I was driving away, reflecting on why I didn't feel quite as satisfied with the class as I had on previous occasions. And this is what came to mind, was that my introduction was too long. It took up too much of the body of the presentation. And I realized that as I got through to the main part of what I wanted to teach on, and especially the applications and conclusion, I had very little time left. I ended up cutting something, I ended up rushing some things, and I felt that I shortchanged the people that I was speaking to. And I think it was because my introduction was just too long. And I wonder whether this has happened to you. You've got onto the launch pad, you've got the fires, the engine's burning, but the rocket's not moving enough. And all of a sudden, you realize you've been stuck there for too long. Nothing wrong in my introduction. I think when I went back and had a look at it, it was all good material, good stuff, but it was just too much and I got stuck there. So why does this happen? And the first thing to recognize is that so often it's because of personal insecurity. And I think that was true on this occasion. I'm talking about in this lesson about quiet times, those times we're with God. And I know that I'm not perfect in it. I know that I struggle with my own times of quiet with God. I know that I'm not always as consistent or as in-depth or as devoted as I'd like to be, perhaps think I ought to be, which is a dangerous place to be in a way. But on the other hand, I know I have something valuable to contribute. It's just that I get stuck when I sense that I'm not at a standard where I would like other people to be, let alone as well with myself. So I think part of it's just insecurity, and I've got to get over that and move on, just deal with it. And maybe you feel that. So that's one thing. But the second thing is some structural things. So on reflection, here's some things I need to do. Firstly, I went back and had a look at my notes. Here they are. And I realized looking at these pages that I've got 2 pages of introduction. And then the other parts of it, I got some good material there for the main teaching body. I've got some good material there for the application and then a conclusion. But look, my introduction is 2 sheets of paper. It needs to be 1. At least I think in a presentation of this kind, of this length, it needs to be 1. So this is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the length of my introduction. I'm just going to cut some stuff out, make it shorter, make it clearer. And to do that, number 2, I'm going to cut. They do say you've got to kill your darlings in the literary world. There are some things that it's lovely, it's wonderful, it's a great introduction, it's a great illustration, it's a great point, but it's making your introduction too long. So I need to be more ruthless and cut more stuff. So number 1, make it shorter overall, looking at the length of it on paper compared to the length of the rest of the presentation. So make it just physically look shorter. That will help. And secondly is to cut some stuff out. And thirdly, to be really clear on the purpose of the introduction. And I think I knew what it was about. It just stretched too long. But if I make it even clearer, where are we going? Rather than where am I in the introduction, but where are we going? I think that will help me to make my introduction shorter and then move on from the launch pad into fresh air and into space or wherever we're going. I'm not quite sure how the analogy will continue there. But anyway, I've got to get going. What about you? Do you ever get stuck on the launch pad? Do you find that your introductions are sometimes too long? Do you find yourself rushing the main body of your material? It doesn't always happen that way with me, but it does happen from time to time, and I need to recognize it and deal with it so that I actually bring the main information that needs to be brought to the congregation to them, and then therefore I hopefully feed them and give them something they're going to go away with and say that was helpful. So what do you think? I'd love to know what you think about what you do with this. How do you work with your introductions to make sure that they're not too long? Please leave a comment in the comment box so we can learn from each other, because we learn best when we learn in community. And also, if you know someone who might like this material, then please pass the link on to them. Leave us a comment, subscribe, hit that like button. I'd very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I hope you have a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful week. God bless.